So, the Switch had some announcements. We may have done a video of that or a segment of that recently. One of the announced games was Super Bomberman R, which came as a surprise to everyone because Bomberman as an IP is owned by Konami, and we all know how much Konami hates making games nowadays, which is a lot. And they especially don't like to do anything with old IPs that everyone loves, like Castlevania. But they own Bomberman, which they purchased when Hudson Soft went out of business. So they own the license, and they're making a Bomberman game. And it looks like a small downloadable title that you would get to, have as maybe like a party game, something like that. So everyone was expecting like, okay, so this game is going to be, probably around $15, maybe $20. It's not. It's going to be $50. And this shares a lot of in common with another Switch game. By the way, this is one of the two exclusive titles for when the Switch launches. The other exclusive title being 1-2-Switch, which is also going to be $50 for what's basically the Switch's version of Wii Sports and Nintendo Land, which is a lousy idea. And I don't know if you've been reading like some of the interviews that Reggie Fils-Aimé has been having with people, Reggie being the president of Nintendo of America. He's been asked why the Switch is not coming with a pack-in game. And his reasoning was that they really wanted to get the price of the system at $300. Here's the deal, Reggie. And you're probably just, saying things you've been told to say by Nintendo corporate. Because we're not buying it. It doesn't cost you anything to include a game with the system. It costs you nothing. You've developed the game already. All the costs are past you now. Now you're just saying, okay, how many are we going to add value to the $300 we're asking you to spend? Or are we going to require you to buy a game, which is cute? It's probably going to have some novelties to it. Is it going to be a fully fledged gaming experience? No, it's not.
You'd probably losing money making these and making it to where people have to buy them at almost full retail price.
Yeah.
Rather than just including it with the Switch.
Right. And with Bomberman R, I think they're like, as a feature, they're saying that there's a story mode. That's one of the features. Story mode. That thing we were talking about earlier that is pretty much essential to everything except puzzle games.
Which a lot of them actually do have stories.
Puzzle
games.
Well, Tetris. They're making a movie out of that somehow.
Are they really?
Yes, they're making a movie out of Tetris. They're gonna make more than one movie out of Tetris.
Are you sure it's not like a documentary about Tetris?
No, this is think Pixels, which should already get you worried. But we're not talking about that, fortunately. We're talking about the unreasonable price of a game like Super Bomberman R and 1-2-Switch.
See, for Bomberman, I can kind of see them putting it there because I'm pretty sure that other Bomberman titles have been at full retail price before, and some of them may have had story modes, or some of them, like, I'm pretty sure some of them have just been like just battle, like just battling with friends, split screen, or
Yeah.
no, on the same screen. And I'm sure they've been sold at like full retail price, and people have bought them before, which I guess is fine. I don't see as big of a problem with Bomberman being $50, and claiming it as a feature is wrong. But if they do have a legitimate story mode into the game, like that's at least like it's at least worth about $30 to $35.
Yeah, I wouldn't say. I mean, people were throwing around $15, maybe $20. Look, Mighty Number 9 was a $30 game, and that the reason why is because it's a retro style game, and a lot of people, even though they had physical versions of it available on disc. You know, the majority of people probably downloaded that game rather than buy it. So I would say $30 is reasonable. $50. Here's my problem with it. I'm not a huge Bomberman fan. I do think the series deserves its place in gaming, though. I don't want to see it go away. I feel like Konami will try to sell this game for $50. It won't sell, and then they're just gonna be like, I guess no one wants Bomberman games. We're just gonna stop making them. And they're gonna be like, see, this is why we have to make pachinko machines, because pachinko machines make money. Making video games. I don't know why I just went Nicolas Cage there, but I'm gonna stay with it. Pachinko games make money. Making video games doesn't. Bees are in my face. But yeah, that's what I fear is going to happen with this.
Yeah. 1-2 Switch is a completely different story. Oh my word. I sold my Wii Sports game for my original Wii when I was younger because I didn't play it anymore, and I wanted to get some money or some credit to go towards like another game.
Mm-hmm.
So I sold it, and
I didn't know that you could.
Yeah, no, you absolutely could if you still had like the little like case that it came in.
The actual case,
the
little sleeve.
They would accept it.
Wow.
So, and I still had mine, so I like brought it and I was like, here you go. And this, I think it'd been like maybe like half a year or a year, and I got the Wii around the time that it like first came out. Mm-hmm. That was like a huge birthday / Christmas present that I got.
With how bad it was finding one, yeah. Or how hard it was,
yeah. I got $2.
And that's the lowest amount that they'll give you, by the way, for a game.
Yeah. It's a really sad thing. I've actually purchased a game for like, I'm pretty sure it was 89 or 98 cents. I'm pretty sure it's 89. It was a Sega Tennis.
Please tell me you didn't trade it in for $2.
No, I helped buy it, which was the bad part. Because first off, that game is garbage. Second off, I don't know why I spent money on that. Even if it was
less than $1.
Less than $1, because it wasn't worth it. This, like Wii Sports, $2. I'd probably, like, if it was $5 and I wanted a game that I've never played before, and I was just like, you know what? Everyone talks about this game and it's not terrible. Why not?
Yeah.
Like, throw that on, like, a stack of a few, like, AAA titles. 1-2 Switch is basically Wii Sports. That should not be anywhere up to AAA title game or just full game price. It shouldn't even cross the $10 mark.
Yeah. The $50 that they're asking, that 1-2 Switch should not sell.
I don't think it will, honestly. Like, unless you just have stupid money and you just, like, Nintendo is basically, like, on your doorstep begging you to buy it just so that they can show, like, hey, one person bought it.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Or, of the 6 announced launch titles, these are the only, like I said, these are the only 2 that are technically Switch exclusives.
ARMS.
Is that Is that a launch title?
Pretty sure it is.
It may be.
It's not. I've heard people say that it's actually worth getting, because like they didn't show its worth as much as they should have when they showed the trailer for it. Apparently,
Do you mean ARMS?
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, it's a much more fun game. I'm pretty sure it should come out launch date. If it doesn't, that's amazing, and amazing in like the dumb way. But 1-2 Switch is just party mini games, and I'm sure that it's not even more than. I'd be willing to bet there's maybe like 8 or 9.
8 or 9
little mini games.
Oh yeah, for 1-2 Switch, yeah. There's not going to be that many. So, okay, here's the official for day one. I'm not talking about launch window. I hate that term, launch window. Like, oh, well, then that means like the first 3 months has been released. No. So, 1-2 Switch, The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth, Just Dance 2017, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Skylanders Imaginators, and Super Bomberman R. You can play half of those games now. Breath of the Wild will also be on Wii U. So 2 of those games will be Switch exclusives, and they're overpriced, along with all of the accessory, all the pricing that they're asking for the additional controllers and dock and whatnot.
Oh, would you like to tell everyone what you found out about the...
Oh, the grip?
Yeah.
Yeah, the grip is going to be a separate purchase.
So
if you spend $80 on a couple more Joy-Cons, if you want to form a normal controller with them, you're going to have to pay, I didn't get an official price, but I think it's somewhere around like $20 for that grip that they slide onto. So you have a $100 controller. And yes, I know that the Xbox One has an Elite controller that's like, what, $150? That's in a whole other league. That's fully customizable. You can like swap things in and out of it. I think it's not worth the money, but other people don't. It's not a standard controller by any means, though.
No.
This is the controller. This is the face of the system in terms of controllers. And you're asking like upwards of $100 to get a second one of these. And you can make the argument like, oh, well, you're technically getting 2 more controllers because they can break off and be like these little tiny controllers. I still think, even though you've got that additional the wrist strap thing that slides on and makes the controller larger and a bit more comfortable to hold, I still have the feeling it's going to be too small for many people.
And before you go on saying like, well, like other YouTubers, they've said that Nintendo Switch looks great, and they agree with it. Guess what? I've heard multiple YouTubers say that the prices for their controllers are completely overpriced. And Nintendo flew them out to this. They paid for their tickets.
Yes.
And they were like, we want you to come. We want you to experience everything that we have to show you. We want you to see everything that Nintendo Switch has. And they told them everything. They told them the prices. They showed them the games. So far, like, at least Pro Jared and The Completionist, those are the only 2 that I follow that went there to the New York Direct. They say that the games, a lot of them look good and great. And I don't know if the Completionist has complained about this. I know that Pro Jared has said that it is stupid how much money they're asking for their controllers and their accessories.
Yeah. And I actually heard Pat the NES Punk does a podcast called the Completely Unnecessary Podcast, or CU Podcast, as it's more commonly known. He made a comment about how he thinks that the HD Rumble and the IR reader that has the ability to tell if you're like doing like, you know, rock, paper, or scissors, it can tell like what the shape of certain objects are. He thinks that those were added kind of like to justify the $300 or to justify charging $50 for a single Joy-Con or $80 for a pair of them. Like that may be true. I mean, these prices are too high, especially when you look at the Pro controller. $70 for that thing? What does it do? What is special about it? I assume it has the HD Rumble, and that's, by the way, we didn't mention this before, but that's the only way to play a game with a D-pad. Because the D-pad doesn't come on the overpriced Joy-Con controllers.
Nope.
So,
which probably makes things awkward
for certain games.
Both, like, there's 2 sets of 4 buttons, and then I guess 2 sticks are normal. But at that point, like, you get the controller with the Switch, which is like, yeah, okay, sure. It's not even worth getting another set of Joy-Cons. Like, I imagine the prices for those, they should go down. Honestly, if Nintendo doesn't lower those prices, I think there's going to be a much bigger decrease in their stock.
Or, see, and I don't think that they will, because they usually lower they do lower, well, they didn't do this for the Wii U, but they do normally lower the prices for their systems, over time. Their controller and their accessory prices really don't go down. And I think what you're going to see, you're probably going to see third-party companies move in and be like, hey, buy our Joy-Cons for half the price. And those will sell like crazy.
Which, like, that happens because, like, I've bought multiple, like, Xbox controllers that are about, like, I think Rock Candy.
Mm-hmm.
Rock Candy has made some, like, pretty good 360 controllers. I purchased multiple of those, and I think they even do an Xbox One wired controller, which I've been planning on getting just because, like, I want to get a wired Xbox One controller. And they work just fine. Like, as long as you're not getting a stupid cheap one on, like, eBay
or GameStop brand,
it should work just as well as, like, any other controller.
Yeah. So, just keeping that in mind, yeah, you're not going to get the HD Rumble. You're probably not going to get the IR recognizer thing, and that's probably going to make it so that you can't play 1-2 Switch. But it's just, there's a lot of negatives that the Switch is coming up against, and I don't want to see Nintendo repeat mistakes or do things that are obvious to us to see why, hey, this may not be the best idea if you're wanting to actually sell these things. So I'm hoping that both 1-2 Switch and Super Bomberman R do not stay at that $50 price range. I hope they drop pretty soon.
I feel like they will.